my dog's fine now, but it's very monotonous. Ten. Do all the practice next. So it's that big bonus. It's like flu shots and coughs and COVID, you know, like it's not surgeries or anything. So in that respect, it's memories, but it's also not a whole year.
I know about that side of medicine because I worked for children's hospital and they took care of the ITE requirements for the orthopedic department where I was a research engineer. And the work they were doing, they were trying to get citizens to be able to get a government voucher. So my boss was trying to that I'm still in the cutting edge side, so that
A lot of it is, but most of my day is just putting off visits, and then like 10% of it is doing insurance denials and trying to get things through okay. And every insurance company wants things coded differently. So it's not just like, yes, you know, like this way, you know, like I can't, we not, we're not, you know, again, see, the difference is it's a, like,
He's showing off. It's part of his routine.
And he put his front end down, and he put his back end down, so that as soon as he wants to turn his head, knobs right up.
He's ready to
It was funny. I mean, he's suddenly now like kind of getting the.
try to take him out. Right
I
here.
think I'll go for a walk.
Right here. Turn. Thank you. No, we're not doing that. No, I'm sorry.
Don't be such a sissy.
Let's take over the truck.
Okay.
Yes, he needs. Okay, that figures the book for us trying to go around the house. That makes sense to me. It makes sense to me too. Actually, no, I mean, Cheyenne, Dylan's, yeah. Whatever. Yeah. I'll move towards you once we. Oh, no.
I was making sure that, yeah.
I left mine in the car because I usually go for a cheesy.
See me before you leave, please. Alrighty. Oh, you got a ton of kids. Got one thing.
Just one?
Just one. Maybe you should-
Whoa.
Same ladies every week.
I know, but it was just all
Sorry. Put myself in the limelight here.
Makes sense to me.
Good morning. Good morning. Everybody get enough turkey? Yeah. I'm with you. There's no such thing. Yummy. Okay. Today's program is on gratitude. And our welcome today is by Monica Jacobson Tennyson, an ordained UU minister currently living in Washington State. Welcome. What you bring, who you are, enriches us all. We say welcome to your joy, your hope, your pride. We say welcome to your grief, your fear, your anger, and the parts of you that are not yet ready to be seen and heard. Welcome to them as well. For we have people of faith. Faith in our expansive welcome. Faith in our ability to grow. Faith in the precious gifts of our truths. Faith in the promise of trying, learning, changing. Faith in our capacity to know ourselves and each other ever deeply. Welcome to you who are gay, straight, bi, pan, lesbian, queer, questioning, unable to be contained in any word. Welcome to you who are trans, CIS, that's one I'm not familiar with, genderqueer, non-binary, intersex, agender, beyond words. Welcome to you who are human. Welcome to you love and are loved. Welcome to you who are blessed, which is all of you. May this time together be a blessing. Speaking of blessings and gratitude, our chalice lighting will be done by Bobbi.
The Persistent Flame by Amy Brooks. Even as the days grow shorter and our homes shrink smaller and our wicks burn lower, our will to endure flickers. We light this chalice to kindle a flame of warmth as a reminder of the connection that draws us into a community that opens us up. In gratitude for the breath in our lungs, the love in our hearts, and the gift of this day, alive.
I might mention that I am David Schaeffer. That's my wife Bobbi, son-in-law Jake, and granddaughter Addie. So, for those of you who are unfamiliar. Okay, the story for all ages. Well, I see that we don't have a bunch of kids today. So, I'm going to do it from up here. And I can take this off. Yay! I think the kids are all with their grandparents. I know Addie is. Today's story is I've Loved You Since Forever by Hoda Kotb. Anybody ever heard of Hoda? Raise your hand if you don't know who Hoda is. Did you ever watch the Today Show? Well, Hoda is one of the presenters. Okay. I've loved you since forever. I've loved you since forever.
Kids, just a minute, here come the kids.
You almost missed the story. There's seats up front.
Aaron is absent, so David is filling in.
Yes, I am Aaron Forstein today. Oh, thank you. My husband just sent me a kiss. Hi, Mike. Where are we? Okay, I've loved you since forever. Before birds flew over rainbows, and monkeys swung on trees, there was you, there was me. Before the sun rose in the sky, yeah, and honey came from bees, there was you, there was me. I've loved you since forever, before the moon lit up the night, and elephants wandered free. There was you, and there was me. Before otters swum together, and rivers reached the sea, there was you, and there was me, waiting for the day our stars would cross, and you and I turned into we. Okay, now are we singing the children out today? Yep. Go now in peace. Go now in peace. Let the spirit of love surround you everywhere. Everywhere you may go. Go now in peace. Go now in peace. May the spirit of love surround you everywhere. Everywhere you may go. Joys and concerns. We have a few. Just a reminder that our Sunday programs are live streamed on YouTube, and as such, are stored online for posterity. Should you participate in the service in any way, you may be captured in the video. By the way, our youth are not videoed at any time. Also, all recurring announcements are to be found on the bulletin board in the gathering space. Last week's Thanksgiving meal was a great success. Thank you to all the people who made the food, prepared the fellowship, and cleaned up after us. Salute. A reminder about the semi-annual congregational meeting next Sunday, December 4th. We need to have a quorum. There will be pizza. So you got to show up. I would like to, by the way, new screen. Speaking of gratitude, I'd like to thank those of you who financially helped replace the video monitor in Scanlon. With the money raised, we were able to replace the screen as well as put a used 50-inch screen in the boardroom in the library. Joe Silsby, Jake Starr, and I installed them yesterday. Cheryl Baber's yoga class will meet this Tuesday, the 29th, for the last time this year due to her impending surgery. She will resume classes in January, but there will be an announcement before she resumes, so you'll know she started again. We are sad that Judy Salyer has moved out of Topeka. It has left a hole in all our hearts. Judy has been a great friend and a great asset to UUFT. However, the Social Justice Committee has a big hole to fill with our Equal Exchange Coffee program. Judy headed that up for many years and was excellent in ordering and having the right things here and worrying about it, and she was just great, and now we don't have Judy. In order to continue that program, we need someone to step up and head that effort. The rest of us on the committee are stretched about as thin as we can be. So if you can help, please see me or Bobby. Terry Harmon is struggling with ongoing health issues. We think he will soon be transferred to an extended care facility. He appreciates calls and visits. On the bright side, I personally visited Terry on Friday, and he seemed in good spirits. He even made a joke. I was really surprised. He was in pretty good shape. Cheryl Franklin, our friend Cheryl Franklin, broke her hand in a fall. It was her right hand, so she's struggling to function since she is right-handed. And where'd she go? She was right there. Lauren Christ has a new house. So she is now a homeowner, and she is absolutely thrilled about it. And we are thrilled for her. On Saturday, December 3rd, Kathy Callan will be selling her books at the Christmas Extravaganza, sponsored by Lawrence Parks and Rec from 9 to 4 at the Sports Pavilion at Rock Chalk Park. That, of course, is in Lawrence. Come buy stuff. And now, we will be greening the basket. Oh, I'm sorry, before we do that? Announcements or joys and concerns.
Yes.
Oh,
Also on the 3rd, we will be doing a swap stuff here at Fellowship. The announcement is on the bulletin board, but what you do is the day of, which means Saturday, you bring in gift-worthy stuff, put it on a table, and you look at what everybody else has bought, and you walk out with something different. So it's a way to re-gift without the possibility of giving it to the person who gave it to you.
I didn't think about that. Anyone else? I'll take that as a no. Hit it, Jake.
I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and by this we live. From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and by this we live.
Thank you, honey. Okay, today's program is on gratitude, and I turn it over to Bobbi.
The first individual who will speak has been recorded. Cynthia Maxwell is currently with the kids engrossed in popcorn theology curriculum. She recorded this to share with us.
Hi, I'm Cynthia Maxwell. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and I'm grateful to UUFT because of the opportunities it's provided my daughter to learn about the principles and to see them put into practice by members of a beloved community. We first came to the church in the fall of 2019 and went through orientation, and Neve attended RE, but COVID shut everything down. And we turned inward, and it wasn't until 2021 when Jabel brought the kids back to RE in person, outdoors, that we really began to know different members of the congregation and become involved. And the more involved we've become, the more a part, obviously, we feel of the community, and that's what we appreciate about UUFT. Thanks. Hi, I'm
I appreciate Cynthia for doing that. Starr, my daughter, was going to be with us to share her thoughts, but was unable to be here this morning. She's been a UU since she was born, so she has a lot of time that she has spent in UU congregations, and she has appreciated doing the last part of her growing up here at UUFT and has returned as an adult with her family. But Joe has agreed to give his thoughts. Joe?
I'm Joe Silsby. I do a few things around here.
Understatement.
I was preparing a report for end of the year for the meeting next week about buildings and grounds, and then I realized how much things were all involved in all of that and all of the people involved in every little thing, and realized that if I asked everybody in this room to raise your hand if you helped out on any project, everybody's hand would be up, I'm sure, because everybody has chipped in and helped out in most things. So I'm very grateful for that and realize how many things we have done and how much help we've had, whether you've done a little bit or a lot. Everything is helpful. I really appreciate the people who see something that needs to be done and do it, rather than saying, Joe, we need to fix this, we need to fix that. Why don't you? Anyway, but it's good to know what needs to be done, and then I can find out who does that. But grateful for RE program, basically a very good program, keeping it going. That's what keeps us alive as an organization. Without a good RE youth program, we will fade away. My kids grew up in here and moved off elsewhere, but they still have good memories of this and the people that they grew up with and the adults that have stuck around and are now adults that were children and have grown up. So I'm grateful for that particularly, and all the people who help out in ways too numerous to mention right now, but thank you.
Carolyn Ward, a member of our board, was going to speak here today, but is not present as well. There's lots of people who are doing other things the Sunday after Thanksgiving, but I know that she appreciates everybody who chipped in on the efforts the board has made to make this a welcoming place, both personally and our space, which is much upgraded with little expense. One other person who is going to speak is Micah Forstein, and he will speak now.
Thank you for the opportunity to speak to you today. Thank you for the opportunity to speak to you today. Oh, all right. There we go. Is that better?
Yes,
Okay.
thank you.
So I'm thankful for the UUFT for a number of reasons. First of all, it gives my wife something to do. And with that, gives me something to do because I have to support her in that. Seriously though, the UUFT provides a community, not just for me, but for all of us. And that makes it a little easier to go through life's trials and to also have an opportunity to share our joys. Erin and I, we grew up in different communities. She here at the UUFT, and me at Temple Beth Shalom here in Topeka. And through our shared communities, we built values, we built a way of looking at the world that was, as the former rabbi once said of Aaron, she's the most Jewish non-Jew I've ever met. Seriously, though, there is a beauty to the focus on love and acceptance and tolerance that is very important to both communities. And I am very happy, very grateful to have the opportunity to support Aaron and to be here, part of this community as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Micah. Micah has a unique perspective on this place. And now I will share my gratitude for this place and this congregation. I'm grateful for each and every individual who comes through our doors. I am grateful for the time, talent, and treasure the group that makes up this community shares with our community to make UUFT what it is for so many of us. My family, consisting of David, Schuyler, and myself, arrived in Scanlon Hall in August of 2001. It was not our first time. Any time we visited Bob and Richie, we made a point of coming to fellowship. It was a no-brainer, as they say, when we moved from TUC in Baltimore to UUFT in Topeka when we relocated. We found our religious home here and have been grateful for the warm welcome we have received and the friends that we have made along the way. We're ever grateful for each and every one of you who've touched our lives in the past 22 years. And now, it's your turn to put into words the gratitude that you feel when you think of UUFT and what it has meant to you through the years. Please come to the mic if you are able. If not, a mic will be brought to you. Remember, you are on camera and recorded for posterity.
So before I get started, asking you, okay, come on up. Before I get started, I said there was something before I get started.
Yeah, this is actually not from me. This is from,
I assumed. Aaron?
no, Jean Silsby.
Janine?
Silsby. She wanted me to read this to you. It says, although I am unable to be with you this morning, I wanted to be sure to share with you the gratitude for this, my beloved community. You have been a constant through the last 40 years of my life, sharing, supporting, and celebrating not only my own joys and sorrows, but yours as well. I am grateful for the lives we share. I am grateful we are not perfect, that we give each other the grace of time and the work to reach understanding, if not always agreement. I am grateful for those who have and will pass through and hang out with us for a while. I'm especially grateful for those who have hung in. I love and appreciate you more than you will ever know. Janine.
So I assume Janine is watching, so thank you, Janine, for participating. So I'm kind of moderating this thing, but I thought I'd go first, or second now. Micah and I have a lot in common. I grew up in a Jewish community in New Jersey. Was bar mitzvahed, went through the whole thing. And as I was growing up, I thought about what I was being taught. And I thought about that supposedly old man sitting on a throne somewhere floating, up there, and I'm going, really, Mom? Really, Dad? That doesn't make sense to me. I saw the injustices in the world. I lived through the 60s. I was part of the movement, social justice movement in my high school years. And I kept saying, this isn't right, this isn't right. So I kind of lapsed, as a lot of us have. And then living in Baltimore, talking to one of my second wife's friends, she starts telling me about this place. And it was the Towson Unitarian Universalist Church in Towson, Maryland. And everything she said to me about what UUs believed resonated right here. It made sense to me. I could believe what I wanted to believe and still be welcomed into a loving community. And so I joined. And, I've been a UU ever since. And, that was in the mid-'70s. So it's been a while. Bobbi talked about when we came here. Shortly after we came here, as most of you know, I was in New York for 9/11 and almost lost my life. This community was extremely welcoming, loving, understanding when I returned to Topeka, and I will forever be grateful for that. And there's a lot of gratitude going on here. So, anyone else like to come up and talk about why they're grateful to UUFT?
My name is Susanna Emilio, and right now, I am living a traumatic home situation. And when I joined, let me just say very quickly, I have a child who tells me, Mom, how are you not getting therapy? How are you doing this and not getting therapy? And I say, I've got UUFT, and I mean that, but it took me thinking about it, sleeping on it last night and thinking, well, how can I articulate this? What does this really mean? Because it's kind of fluffy. Oh, I'm involved in my fellowship, I'm involved in congregation, and so that makes it easier to cope in this difficult situation. Yes, that's true, but there's something more tangible, and this is what I want to share with you super quick. When I first started attending here, and before I began to get involved as I have, I was part of a chalice group. Biggie! And I shared with that chalice group very authentically at the time some of my own insecurities that most every night I would go to sleep, and when I closed my eyes, I would just have this constant replay of negative, 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 like just all the times in my life that I was ashamed, all the times in my life that I was embarrassed, just all this horrible stuff. And I realized, like 2 years later, I don't have that anymore. That's dissipating, it's going away, and it may be a combination of dealing with trauma and difficulty at home, but I don't believe that's only it. I think it's also this community, that it's really taking that away, and for that, I am grateful.
Come on up, Russell. Good to see you again.
Glad to be back. I'll probably forget something. I think I've been coming here, I was trying to think, I guess probably approximately 20 years, something like that. My children were raised here. Let's see. Our friendships are very important. I came here because of Bill DeCero invited me. I don't know if y'all remember Grandma Kate, but at one point Brianna expressed some negative attitudes towards elderly people, and Andrea and I said, what the hell is going on here? So we said, from now on, we're volunteering at Grandma Kate's house, and we had family descended, like 8 kids descended on Grandma Kate's house a couple of times a month and did her yard, and so the friendships outside of the fellowship were super important. Dinners for 8 was just very nice. I buried my wife here. The fellowship surrounded me. It was very, very beautiful. Before that, I was sick. The fellowship, again, surrounded me. I was in a scooter. You guys came out and provided wood for my fireplace and built a rail for my steps. My kids are questioning individuals because of coming here. Let's see, and more recently then I've had my second, basically, wife pass away in a very tragic way, and the fellowship again reached out to me and put their arms around me, and I'm very, 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 very grateful. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Well, if not, I'll turn it back to Bobbi. Oh, well, excuse me, I didn't see you wiggling your fingers at me.
Stand back, David. I'm
Sorry.
not.
Help me, Cheyenne, help me.
There's no help.
Nah, I'm dead.
So I first walked through the doors 2010.
Yep.
And when I first came to Topeka, I didn't know anybody, and that stayed that way from the time I moved here until 2010. And I came to the fellowship, and I found a community. I found friends. I found people that I could love and open myself and my family to, and my family has changed and grown a lot over the years, and it's always been welcome here. And I have stumbled and I have fallen, and you guys have always taken me back, which is just amazing.
Who hasn't?
And so just being out in the community and seeing any of you and saying hello, it just warms my heart every time. And being welcome here on Sunday morning and being able to talk to friends. I am grateful for the community that you have given me and my family.
And we are grateful for all of you. Oops.
It's kind of strange that I'm saying something because this is actually my first Sunday here.
That's okay.
But I have been doing the book club for 6 months and the people there have been so wonderful. Recently, I had back surgery, and Walt had come in and asked for people to get me to a doctor's appointment. I'm like, these people don't know me, and he's never met me, and they're trying to get me to a doctor's appointment. And then I was so scared about what was going to happen to my dogs because I wasn't able to walk my dogs after no bending, twisting. And I asked my book club, does anybody know a dog walker? Not expecting them to do it, but a referral. And 2 people volunteered to walk my dogs 5 days a week or 6 days a week, wouldn't let me pay them, in the cold, have walked my dogs now for a month. One of them's going to continue doing it, and I was like, if this is the type of people that are in this fellowship, then I need to get to know more of them, because they had never met me in person. They barely knew me, and yet they were willing to do something like that for me, and I just haven't had a lot of experiences with people doing stuff like that for me. So I'm very eager to get to know all of you, and I'll be around from now on. So.
And your name?
Oh, sorry, Mindy Backus.
Welcome, Mindy.
Thanks.
You want to draw straws?
My name is Krista. I've been coming here since around 2010, and just as a person who I need a lot of structure in my life, so I really appreciate UUT for being a safe and very interesting place to come to on Sundays. So thanks.
Thank you. Vicki.
Vicki George. Okay. I've been a Unitarian Universalist for almost 50 years. We've been here 40 years. And we knew when we moved here from Sioux City where we had been active, and that group had held us through my mother's death, our infertility, the adoption of our child. And so I just assumed that would be an easy little plug and play, you know. You come and we had people from the church, Bob McDaniel and etc., came up and helped us move in. It wasn't quite that easy. I didn't quite fit. It was not plug and play. It took some time. It took me walking away for 10 days. Came back with my tail between my legs. Damn it, yes, I guess I am here. So for 40 years, I've been so grateful to be here. Sometimes I've been a rock in some people's shoes. Otherwise, but this group has loved us, has supported us through tragedies and through joys. I'm almost standing where my daughter was had a child dedication right over there. So I have a lot of, I slept on the floor in this place with Girl Scouts. I have a lot of memories in this place. And it's not a very comfortable floor, by the way. But I have just treasured this group. And sometimes when I have been that rock to myself in my shoe, this is the group that's helped me smooth that and come back. And I want to really hold up. First of all, I want to talk about, the people that are talking about how their earlier faith communities didn't fit. I was one of those kids, and the few times I went to Sunday school, I was sitting there going, really?
Yeah, exactly.
Really? So faith communities are so important, and people are falling away from their faith communities. And I think we're seeing so much individualism and so much alienation. And this place is important. It is important. It's important to us. It's important to the people that haven't come here yet. And this group helped us raise 2 kids. One, a child who's biracial, still considers himself a Unitarian, still has wonderful thoughts about people. Just 2 months ago, he was saying, Carolyn Peck, what's going on with Carolyn Peck? So I had to send her a picture of Carolyn Peck to say she's still around. Our daughter, LGBTQ, came out, and this is the group that held her and loved her through that. So I'm so totally grateful for this group. So you still got me, guys.
And we're glad we do. Come on down.
And we're grateful for that, Vicki.
I'm Lana Balka. I joined here in 1974. Can anyone beat me on that one? Hey, Debbie. So one thing about this morning in talking about connections is that I have lived in Baltimore. My boss lived in Towson, and I worked in the city, and I never knew that before. So
there you go.
Yeah. But last week, my son came with 2 of my grandchildren to the Thanksgiving dinner, and he felt so good about seeing people here. He had not been here in years. And the people that hugged him and greeted him, that was so important to him because he came here when he was 10, when I adopted him. And this was an absolute very important place for us at that time, especially.
Thank you, Lana. Cheyenne.
Hello, my name is Cheyenne. I'm Trisha's daughter. I haven't been here in like 6 years.
But you're here now.
It's my second Sunday back, and I'm so happy to be here. This community has really shaped who I am as a person. I don't know how old I was exactly. Let's see, if it was 2010, I was 7?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And here I am,
Yeah,
19.
we say that too. Wow.
Here I am, 19 years old, an adult of my own. I think the principles of Unitarian Universalists have really shaped who I am. I'm a home health aide with a very well-known hospice company here in town, and the work I do is very important to me, and I think the principles that I grew up learning here really helped me to realize that helping people was my passion. So I'm grateful for UUFT.
Thank you, Cheyenne. And we're grateful that you're back. Up. Come on up, Debbie.
Okay. I also wanted to say a great big huge thank you to the people that held us together during the pandemic. The program committee here kept us going on Sunday morning through Zoom. Kathy Callan, Lou Hoover, Bobbi, and David. Please, if you had anything to do with the programs during that time period, please raise your hand. Oh, and Walt, and yes. Thank you. Wow, thank you.
My name is Debbie Scanlon, and to put you in perspective, I started coming here in 1967. So, anyway, I'm thankful for this place, this community, and I'm thankful to Toby Scanlon, who talked me into coming out here. And I was looking for a home for my heart. And I thought about, I went to the temple and talked to the rabbi, and she suggested that I try the Unitarian Fellowship. And so my brother married a Jewish woman, and he became more Jewish than she was.
It happens.
And so our family has been associated with Judaism, and then I felt at home with the Unitarians, and I can remember we used to meet in, I don't even know that it exists.
Used to be the garage.
Yeah.
Right, the library.
Yeah.
Boardroom.
And anyway, I can remember Toby sitting over there behind a table, and he was selling books, and that was a long time ago. And for those who do not know Toby, he was the first person who put the fellowship before family. And he was a major contributor with his estate. And so anyway, I think he would be more than proud of what this community has meant.
Thank you, Debbie. For those who don't know, this is you're sitting in Scanlon Hall, named after Toby. Is there anyone else? Nancy, welcome.
Hello, I'm Nancy Heitzig, and I moved out here, I think it was 2014. I'm not very good on years, but around there, from California. And when I got here, I moved out here because my daughter and her kids and her husband were in Topeka. They moved there from Arizona. Her husband grew up in Topeka. That was one of the reasons. The big reason was I visited them and they had blue skies and clean air in Kansas. And that was a big selling factor. But when I got here, I was looking around for something spiritual, not religious. I've been there, done that. But I dabbled in this, that, and the other thing in California. You can just think California. And so looking online to see what was out there, and Oshara, who used to be part of the community, she had a meditation group that was holding it here at UU. And I knew about Unitarians, had been visiting and gone to some between here and New York. So I went and met Oshara and started partaking in her meditation group. And then I wandered around and kind of looked at bulletin boards and that sort of thing. And I said, well, wasn't real wowed about the UU group in California, but let me see what's going on. So I started coming, and the first Sunday was, good. I thought, this is nice. I like this. Okay, I'll come back. The second Sunday, I met Vicky.
Uh-oh.
And she said, are you new here? Did you come here how many times? And I said, well, it's my second time. And she goes, oh, we could put you on the membership committee. No. I thought about running away, but, I just tried to disappear into the wall. But anyway, but that was okay. I mean, it was friendly. The vibes of this place were wonderful. I really, really liked it. And I loved the potlucks. As you know, when we're talking about what do we need to have after the pandemic, I kept saying potlucks, potlucks, potlucks.
Heard that a lot.
And yeah, but I love them. The second Sunday potlucks, the Thanksgiving one, and the Valentine's one. We haven't had that one yet, but they were just wonderful. And then the adopt a family and the paper wrapping and the wrapping of the presents and all of those things just showed what kind of community it is. And I'm very grateful for it. And I've been involved in things and done things. I was on the Social Justice Committee for a while, book group. I've kind of pulled back. Some of you may not know, I had a friend of mine that came out from, we've been friends for over 40 years. She had some health issues, so she came out from, by now she was living in Oregon. So I went and packed her up and came out. She had a few health issues. But she's had more issues, and she's, kind of struggling. Her memory's kind of, So when I was driving here this morning, and I was thinking, and this is about gratitude. And I thought, I'm so grateful to be able to go to fellowship today and be with people, because I know for my well-being, I need to be around people, because as a caregiver, you have to have some place to go, and this is the best place to be. So thank you.
Thank you.
Well, my name is Kathy Callan. I haven't been coming quite as long as Debbie, but I've been here a long time. Anyway, one of the first Sundays I was here, the congregation sang "Coffee, Coffee, Coffee" to the tune of "Holy, Holy, Holy." And I appreciated the sense of humor that does come out every once in a while here, and it's one of the things that keeps me coming. So,
Thank you. Okay, yes, George. Come on up. People who don't know this gentleman, this is George McDonald, Bobby's brother, and my brother-in-law.
and Bob's brother.
And Bob's
And
brother.
Bob. Speaking
He's
of
not
Bob,
here.
I visit here occasionally, and due to them putting up with me, with their generosity, which I'm extremely grateful for, and let you know that in itself is reason for gratitude. But Bob was my first experience with this place and this community when he got married here. And that was always a very warm, welcome feeling for me, and has always stayed with me every time I come back, whether it was for the last minute folk that they had here, and just coming for the fellowship. Why, it's something to really enjoy and share and enjoy and be grateful for. And with that, I can definitely say I have much gratitude for this place, for the community, and of course, my brother-in-law and my sister and my brother. All the more reason for being here.
Thank you, George. I have one more, and this one's kind of sad. About a year ago, a young lady showed up at our doors here at UUFT and seemed very interested in what we were doing, and wandered around, I don't remember who said it, looking at all the brochures and reading all the materials, and she went in the library and read about, looked at all the books that we had and talked to all of us. And a lovely young woman who had a young son who was 5, I believe. And unfortunately, Marissa was a troubled soul, Marissa Manel, troubled soul, and ended her life. I went to, a number of us went to the funeral, and I communicated with her mom afterwards on Facebook, and her mom wrote to me, and I didn't have a chance to pull up the words that she said, but what she said was that even though Marissa had been brought up she was churched and brought up in her faith and was very strong in her faith, she was a searcher and thought that we had something to offer her, and that her mom and dad felt such gratitude for the way we welcomed her in. Losing her was a big deal. And I still wear the armband against suicide, and I will continue to wear it. She was a sweet person, and I'm sorry I missed her. And I have much gratitude for the fact that she chose us and was here with us for that short period of time. Thank you.
November is Suicide Awareness Month.
Just to put it in perspective, The Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Topeka was incorporated on June the 25th, 1962, and began welcoming members to the community. Just to put that on it. This is Kindle New Sparks by Deborah Burrell. We have basked in the warm and beauty of this flame in this community, and the chalice flame is extinguished, and let us carry its glow within. Let us kindle new sparks within these walls and beyond. Go in peace till next we meet.
And there's still coffee out there.
Coffee and goodies and fellowship.